Hello dear students of grade 9 and 10. So this is your teacher Vesa ma'am back again with part 2 of your previous lesson titled tenses. So today we will be dealing with the past tense and its 4 aspects. However, let us first do a quick recap on present tense and also check our answers of the previous worksheets. Alright? So now let us see the present simple and its forms, and of course with some examples. So present simple is used for general and regular actions, schedules, general facts, instructions, repeated actions, future considerations and fixed arrangements. And if you are to look on your right hand side, you will see the examples. Alright. Now present continuous on the other hand is used for continuing actions that is happening now, repeated actions, temporary actions and changes taking place now. And there too, on the right hand side, you will get to see examples. Now the third type of present tense is the present perfect, and we come to see that it is used when we talk of general life experience or lack thereof, or when we refer to an action or situation that started in the past and continues in the present, and also an action performed during a period that has not yet finished. Now if you are to look at your right hand side, you will again see those examples. Present perfect continuous is the final aspect of the present tense, and we get to see that present perfect continuous is used for actions that started in the past and continues. You can also use distance without a duration, such as for 2 weeks. We can also use words like lately or recently. And present perfect continuous is also used for an action that was completed in a very recent past, expressed by just. And yes, we also use present perfect continuous when we talk about an action where the time is not important. So now what you will get to see is the solved assignment, whereby I had asked you all to fill the blanks with simple present tense. And here I want you all to pause your video, check your answer and correct it if necessary. And now you get to see the assignment where I had asked you to put the verbs into the correct form. Okay, so again, please pause the video, check your answers. And your last assignment was, of course, filling the blanks with present continuous tense. So here too, please pause the video and check your answers. This happens to be the super last assignment that I had given earlier. And here you've been asked to complete the sentences using the present perfect continuous tense form. Okay, so I hope you've done it right. If not, please check and correct as and where necessary. So if you are to look at your past tense, what we get to see is that past tense is nothing but verbs that refer to actions or events in the past. They can be regular verbs that simply end with a D or an ED, or they can be irregular and change the spelling to show the past tense. Hence, since every tense has 4 aspects, namely the simple, the perfect, the continuous and the perfect continuous, here too we will be focusing on all these 4 aspects of the past tense. So the first is the past simple, and we get to see that this tense is used to describe an action that has already happened. And of course, when we look at the structure of the form, we get to see that it is formed by subject plus verb in the past form. But children, we also need to understand that irregular verbs do not remain the same, and it can change as per the word. Alright, for example, if we are to take the verb awake into consideration, we get to see that awake is what it is in the base form. It becomes awoke in the past form and awoken in the past participle form. Next is beat, which is in the base form, and it remains beat in the past form as well as the past participle form. And if we are to look at the verb bring in the base form, alright, it becomes brought in the past form and the past participle form as well. Alright, so from here we get to see that irregular verbs are, or rather do not remain the same. Now let us see some simple examples of the past simple. Alright, I called Yangchen. I saw a movie yesterday. Did you add flour, pour in the milk and then add the eggs? Okay, so likewise there are other examples for you to look at. Now I have included this worksheet on the past simple whereby you'll have to complete the sentence with the correct verb form, positive or negative in the simple past tense. So I want you all to pause the video and write it down in your note copy. So now children, we get to see the past perfect, and the past perfect refers to a time earlier than before now. It is also used to make it clear that one event happened before another in the past. It does not matter which event is mentioned first. The tense makes it clear which one happened first. For example, when they arrived, we had already started cooking. So it doesn't matter that, we write that we had already started cooking when they arrived. The very fact that we had already started cooking, is shown by the tense. Alright. So Pramila had gone out when I arrived in the office. So the structure of the form of the past perfect is subject plus had plus verb in the past participle form. For example, she had given. She hadn't asked. Hadn't you finished? Well, you always need to, remember that in an interrogative sentence, the subject comes second. Had plus subject plus verb in the past participle. Please remember that. To check as to whether you've understood this or not, try to solve this worksheet on your own. Alright, so again, pause the video, write it down. So now children, we move on to the past continuous, which is also called the past progressive. And this tense is a verb tense which is used to show that an ongoing past action was happening at a specific moment of interruption, or that two ongoing actions were happening at the same time. Now let us look at the structure. Okay, so the subject plus was or were plus verb in the ing form. Alright. Now children, when we talk about pronouns like I, she, he or it, we use was. Alright. But again, when we talk of pronouns like we, they, you, we use were. That is singular pronoun and plural pronoun. For example, I was watching TV when she called. While I was writing the email, the computer suddenly went off. Last night at 6 p.m., I was eating dinner. He was constantly talking. He annoyed everyone. Well, children, once again, in order to test your understanding, I have included this worksheet. Please pause the video and write it down. And now we come to the end of this past tense. It is called the past perfect continuous, the last of the four aspects. Alright, so here we are told that this tense is used to describe an action that started in the past and continued till another action or time in the past. The structure of form is subject plus had been plus verb in the ing form. For example, Suraksha had been walking 3 miles a day before she broke her leg. It had been raining all day, so I couldn't walk to to work. Alright, so this is simple, isn't it? Now, to see how simple it is, we are going to test ourselves by solving the worksheet. Okay, dear children, I want you to pause the video, write it down and solve it on your own, please. I hope I can trust you on that. So children, thank you so much for your patience. Stay safe and see you in the next class. Alright, so until then, take care.